Okay, I think we're ready to get started, don't you? Good evening, and welcome to the 6 o'clock news. I think that's how I'm going to start my streams from now on. Good evening, and welcome to the 6 o'clock news. Because I don't hear that enough anymore. Unless you watch the news. Okay, so, today's page is the one that was started on Friday. This is, well, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. So that was the suggestion, were those two sentences. And Just April's joining us. Hiya, Just April. So from those two sentences, we put him in a situation. Now I did a jelly-plated image, and the jelly-plated image was a parking lot full of cars, and which I then submerged and added the rest of the information, like the guy floating in the water and the rubber duckies and everything else. Well, everything else, just except for the cars. So this was fun. But the jelly-plated surface to start with. You know, you can look at the image itself and having some kind of necessity of adherence to the image, or you can use the image as a sort of launching off point. And that tends to be where my head works from. So that's exactly what I did. And, you know, I'm pleased with the outcome. There's all kinds of fun and interesting directions that the page took me in that it wouldn't have if I hadn't initially worked on a jelly-plated surface. So a lot of fun, a lot of opportunities present themselves that way. So if you have that opportunity to do so, do so. So the other image, I came back on, I don't know, Saturday, and I did a random stream then. Yeah, I think it was Saturday. And this is, whoops, that's my announcement for tonight. Hey, why don't I get to that? It's the Comic Jam tonight. So if you live in London, Ontario, and surrounding area, come on down. It's at TAP. And what a Comic Jam is, for those that don't know, and I talk about this each month, a Comic Jam is when somebody starts working on a comic page and then does the first panel of it at the start of the page, slides it across the table, and somebody has to pick up where they left off. And the next person, and the next person, and the next person, until that page is done. It's a lot of fun. Gets you out of your comfort zone for what you traditionally do with storytelling, and helps you to grow, and helps you to interact with other artists and look at process. I'll give it one of these. Good fun in the sun, folks. So that's the night. Now the other page that I started doing on Saturday was this one, and so this is the Bird of Death. This is during this stream that I was doing, I was opening up an offering of input to people for the story, which I tend not to do as much. I tend to just sort of fly by the seat of my pants on that. But that day I engaged everybody. Had some fun suggestions. I think it was Stacy made it said, do the shadow of the Bird of Death on top of the hunters in the bottom panel. So that's good, happy fun. But this was a fun one to do. The stencil for the Bird of Death at the top is the one that I made randomly the other day. And then the second panel is a number of different uses of this stencil of the forest that I did. And then the bottom panel is just me hand drawing the same thing to try to emulate the stencil above it. Hi, Linda, welcome aboard. And so this was a lot of fun. So then I scanned it and I put it into the photo of Shoppies and did the text and the finishes on it. And really all the finishes is the text and making nicely shaped panels. So that was that. Now, this is the other thing for today, and that is it's the weekly Monday Mixed Media Drawing. I'm good with the titles, huh? So this is what we're going to start doing on Mondays. And that is, you know, at some point in the stream today, I'm going to do a draw between one and whatever, depending on how many people get engaged. And, you know, that way we can see, you know, who wins, and then they get to pick a subject matter. Now, I tried this for the first time on Friday. And on Friday, The winner was Marguerite. She won the draw, and her choice was Mermaid. Just April says, "So good, Title Master." You're welcome. So this is the Mermaid sketch that I did this morning. So I know, last minute guy, huh? So the initial sketch I did on paper. That's my big dramatic paper reveal. So you can't see Jack. Okay, there's something to do with the overhead. Bingo. So there's the original drawing, and so I scan that, and I put it into the Magic Robot, and then I do all the finishes in there. So I'm gonna be honest, folks. This drawing took about 15 minutes. So it's not a big fancy, super elaborate thing, but it works. The original art for everything that I do is posted up on Patreon, and the same will be said for the Mermaid. But I gave it to Marguerite first, as per the rules of the draw, and then whoever wins today's draw, I will be showing on Friday. What? Or maybe I'll just show it next Monday, but they get it as soon as I'm done. But here's the original for the Bird of Death. The Bird of Death. Sounds like debt. So there's that page there, and I'm really pleased with this. This is a lot of the stencils that I had picked up on Friday morning, and so woohoo! Had some fun in the sun with those and the stencils that I made. And this is the original page for The Race Is On. So there's very little changes on these. The other page that I'd stenciled with the same heron image is this page. Ready? Boink. So there's a vast difference between these two images, and it's amazing what you can do with tone, right? So this is on a black piece of paper, hence the darker tone, and then this is on a red piece of paper, hence the lighter tone. So it's a lot of fun, folks. So this is the big 1, 2, 3, 4. How many more? This is already 5 pages of that stack of random things that I put together from various surfaces that I've made, as well as all of this pile of drawings that I've discovered. So we're well on our way to getting through those. This is another one of the pages that I did a modified surface on, where I'm putting this is the leftovers of a jelly plating, and so I just stamped them on a second piece of paper, and then I added in some little pieces of different grass papers, and they blend through really nicely. It's like a tissue paper, but not. Pencil scribblings or some circles, yellow pencil crayon in here. So I can either work on this surface, or I can work on this surface today. So for whatever our page is going to be today, I'm easy like Sunday morning. So at some point soon we will be doing the draw. I don't want to have a set time, really, because I think that I don't want to just overwhelm anybody else. But other people are doing their streams at this moment, and I'll just give it a few more minutes. So there's the Bird of Death finished page, and then there's the Race Is On finished page. So, and there is the fish one, huh? So there we go. All right. Now then. So we've got the book out. Another thing that I've been doing is I've been going through my sketchbooks. Now, the suggestion book, I don't know who it was, and whoever it was, somebody on Friday or Saturday said to me, "It sounds like you're making a scrap, like a, I can't remember what it was, some kind of scrapbook." And so what I've done is I've taken the suggestion book, and I've been taking all the suggestions out of it, and I've been putting them in the new suggestion book, and checking the ones that are done and highlighting the ones that are not yet done. And that is a lot. I mean, last year we did 358 pages. And so I'm still writing down lots of things. But, you know, we're already in the 70s for this year. So it's you know, we're getting stuff done. So what I've started doing, anyhow, was just painting over those pages. I have this to do and this to do still. I've copied all these out. But I'm going through and I'm putting a layer of paint over these pages. And then if you can see this, I'm going to put the zoom camera on for a sec so you can see this. And do you see the little dot textures that are throughout there? Dot, dot, dot. Hey, I'm a Dot. Hi, Dot. Nice to meet you, Dot. I go by Dorothy. So these are from laying a paper towel down while it's wet. And you get this really kind of neat little dotted pattern in your work. So, all right. That's kind of a fun effect. But, so this is what I've been doing with the different pages now. And then having some fun, putting some circles and shapes and things on there. So, yeah, I'm going to be, look at this, these crazy fish were left over at this page that I'd done nothing with. So, hey, why not incorporate them into whatever I'm going to put together on this. So that's what I've been doing with this book. For those that haven't seen it yet, I'll just flip through it quick. This is my Silly book, where I just scribble whatever's on my mind. Let me see if I can show you better. Yeah, I'll have to move it up. Moving on up. Anyway. So, let's get my big goofy head out of the road. So this is the sketchbook that I do all these scribbles, and this is, I have 5 that I do this with. And this is how I sketch in books. I sketch over top of things. I tend to bleed one image into another. And I will draw over my own notes because I'm interesting like that. And try to find interesting elements that I can incorporate in other compositions. Like, you know, if you're going to have a sci-fi story where mankind and all kinds of aliens live on the same planet in the future, what kind of cultural unifier would those people have? And so I came up with these little face markings. You know, so there's different people and alien people and robot people, you know, but this is just shapes of people. This is just exploring different things. This is the one one-page suggestion that I dare not do. The haunted bow tie. Anyone that wears it kills. I mean, how would a person draw that? I mean, that's not as easy as drawing a bear in a boat. Bear in a boat. So this is, again, and I'm, you know, blackening out pages from just pure suggestion pages and putting stuff together this way. So it's coming together. Anywho, you know, and then as I'm doing these, like here is, this is, these pages, these illustrations here were used for a page. This is before I put all the notes and things around it that I would pull out the bunnies, and when I scan it and then I put that together as a page, right? Or there's a page on the face of Mars here someplace. I'm pretty sure it's in this one. Maybe it's in a different one. So I did this anyways with each of my sketchbooks. And so, you know, it's the same. This is another sketchbook of mine that I'm working in at the same time, trying different things out, different approaches, exploring different ideas. This is a page that I did from 3 prompts of toucan peanuts, and I can't remember what the other thing was. But anyways, it's a fun page. I drew this in ballpoint pen with a yellow paint marker and a white paint marker, and no, it's not. It's a yellow paint marker and ink. It's just white ink and stippling ink. So this is the kind of junk that I do. It's letting the kids draw in my book, and then this is where I'm starting to do finished pages now on top of sprayed off or painted over surfaces. And so there's the first one, the face of the Sidonian complex on Mars, and all the different ways you can see the face. So, how you doing, Paul? Welcome aboard, sir. Octopus. So this is just stuff ready to go, and this is what I'm doing when I'm supposed to be paying attention in church. And then the last thing was, I think there's this sketchbook where I started doing some. Oh, that's too big for the picture. Where I started doing some stenciling over top of existing scribbles and doodles. So, you know, and we're getting that. That's it. It's a brand new book. So, and in the larger sketchbook, which I've shown here a couple of times. So, you can also work on this page too, which is the same kind of thing as the green, but red. So, what do we got? Doing great for a Monday after the session. There you go. All right. We want to. You guys are maniacs. You're maniacs. So, yeah, and I've still got these to finish. This is where I've developed some of these other the pages that I put together the other day. So this is some of the pages that I'm finishing now. And I'm feeling really good about how far they're all progressing. And a lot of it has to do with putting some of these little patterns on. Jim Llewellyn says, "Hello everyone, I'm still recovering from my loss at the Oscars. It was close. It was as close as horseshoes and hand grenades." So these are a bunch of other images that I'm now finishing for stories, and just getting some. There's a 3-page piece I'm finishing off. In here, so yeah, we got lots of things on the go here, folks. Welcome aboard, Jim. But a lot of it comes from this, and for those that weren't here for that, I randomly bought a $4 pack of stencils, not realizing it was 3 stencils, and I knew I was getting this one, and I thought, well, there's a cool stripy pattern there, and I could do something with that. And what I didn't realize I was getting was this pile of joy. Look at the stars and the leaves and the dots, and lines, squares, so much goodness. And then another one, triple goodness. So that was a win. So I've been using these on all these different pages all at once. So that print would make a great junk journal. That's what it's called. What print? Which print is that, April? I'm not sure which one you were referring to. Did you mean the red one? This one? This one? Which way's up, if you don't know that? That. Cool. Yeah. Never even thought of putting a cover on my sketchbooks. I usually just have black ones. So, for those joining late, very soon, once we get started here, we will do a draw today. And a draw. So today I'm going to do a draw with a random number generator, and we'll see who wins. Marguerite won on Friday, the first time I tried this, and it's, what is it? It's 2:18 now, so we got a few more minutes. Marguerite won on Friday, so I did this for her today and sent her. I don't have the screen on. Marguerite won the drawing on Friday, and so this is what I sent her this morning. So, yeah, so I'll be doing the same thing. So whoever wins the drawing today, it's we're going to do a random number generator between 1 and whatever, 20, 50, you know, and whoever wins get to suggest the subject. Marguerite said, mermaid. So that's what I did. So tempted to do a reverse mermaid. Seriously. Fish with legs, folks. All right. So I got the suggestion book out. As usual, I'm always saying to people that if you have a one-page story idea, you want to suggest, or 3 random prompt words or random prompt whatnot from your prompt source of choice. Paul says, don't you draw every day? Me? Pretty much every minute, Paul. I am currently working on 16 separate images. So, yeah, a little bit. I got problems, Paul. So we got a few suggestions. Now I've gone through and I've written everything in the book. Checked off all the ones. I was slashing first, and then I went to the checks. And then I've still got ones that are to be done. And we're just going through and, getting as many of these done as I can. There is this many in the book so far. I'm trying to, take all of the ones out of the previous sketchbook so I can have those sketchbooks back for sketchifying. So we'll get there. That one. I don't want to draw me as a hula dancer. Are you crazy? What do we got? There's so many great ideas. The risk-benefit ratio. Ah, you want to do that? The risk-benefit ratio? What I try to do is I stump myself. If I look at something and go, oh, I know what to do with that one, that's not as fun. If I look at something and go, all right, then that tends to be the ones that I gravitate towards. And it's not to say that I've never had a bad suggestion. I've simply, just bounced around a lot on it, so that if I keep myself from settling and I keep myself from, I don't want to prepare myself before I start doing the page. And the reason that I say that is, I want to keep it loose. I want to keep it fresh, so that when I sit down, crack open the book and start drawing, I have no idea where I'm going to go with stuff. So there we are. The risk-benefit ratio is the, drop my pen, is the suggestion for today, folks. Paul says, Chris, reverse mermaid sounds like a position. Let's keep this family friendly. What's the matter with you, Paul? Yeah. So it's where you sit on the handles of the bicycle bar. Okay. All right, everybody. Listen. I'm just going to erase what was just said there and move forward, okay? All right. So the risk-benefit ratio is today's suggestion. I think I'm going to start by drawing a crazy scene, like a roped off area on a public street. Let's, where something's happened and we don't know what it is yet. But the reason that I'm relating to that for the risk-benefit ratio is that when you think about it, something's happened here that whether or not somebody's put together some thoughts of outcome or not, there's a value judgment going on in order for this situation to have developed. All right. So April says, oh, I'm a nurse. I am sure I could give you a few bad suggestions. I could just imagine the unfortunate situations that as a nurse you are privy to, of awkward moments where people come in and have to make sense of the decision-making process that they went through in order to land themselves in your gentle, loving care. So, all right, the risk-benefit ratio is our suggestion. I'm going to use this page because there's a lot of interesting stuff going on it, and one of the things about modifying surface like I do is that I don't I don't let this detract me in any way from where I'm going to go. And I utilize the marks in the surface to try to bring up some interesting values and interesting complexity of the drawings that I put down. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense to some people. And yes, I have been told, don't draw on that. I like it the way it is. But I'm a loner, Dottie. A rebel. Okay. So, let's see. What time is it now? 10 minutes? 10 minutes and we shall do the draw. Okay? And the draw that I'm referring to, for anybody that just joined, is this one, where I will draw a number from numbers shouted out at me in the chat, and I will choose one of those, and we will do a drawing for somebody to get this week. And the first one that we have done of these was for Marguerite on the test draw that we did on Friday, and she chose a mermaid. So there we go. On to business. Paul's mind. Pick Paul's mind up, dust it off, and hand it back. Oh my. We all make sense to each other here. Okay, so all right. So here we go. What was it now? 225, 235. If somebody wants to remind me that it's 235, and we will drew the data-driven comics. That's the way I work. 10 minutes from now, 2:35, and I'll do today's draw, folks. Okay. All right. So risk-benefit ratio is the suggestion, and I think that we'll just start from. I'm trying to think of. Let's use the yellow. Let's use the yellow because it's kind of like a loose. Can you see that? Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me zoom it in a minute. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to start putting together some marks here, and then we'll work from here. You know what? Maybe I'll switch to the white. Is that easier to see? Yes. Come on, Chris. Get to the white pencil. And so I'm just going to draw over top of what's already on the surface, and we'll build on top of this, okay? All right. I love the sense of humor. Y'all are the best. I might have to invest in some Depends. Well, that depends, April. Do you really feel like that's a good investment? Hey, hey! How you doing, Riri? So here is our first part of the image. So the risk-benefit ratio is today's suggestion. And the first thing that I'm going to draw is this crazy cat lying around. Everybody else is having to keep an eye on him. All right, let's do. Well, here you go. In honor of just April, let's put a nurse in here. Let's put a paramedic. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Today's music of choice that I'm listening to is Kasabian. All right. You gotta have a special set of balance in order to prop yourself over somebody that's on the ground, and you gotta lower yourself down so you can help work on them, but also you don't want to step in things. Let's put some polyethylene sheeting here. So I'm just putting together the structure of the image, and just to get us started. And we'll go from there. Riri, I tried, but I couldn't find copy and paste your announcement. Oh, no worries, Riri. Welcome aboard. Today's the first time I was telling people about it. I put it in a community tab on the YouTube here, so if anybody ever checks out the community tab, there's a reminder for it. You know, you can tell all the cool kids at the back of the bus. Down in the smoking pit, the bad boys and girls. The ones with the tattoos. Alright, so I'm drawing our guy lying in the pavement after having made possibly not the best decisions. And you can probably hear Corbin bellowing at me from the other side of the door because I've locked him out. So, hey, come on, I just want to get in there and harass you. He doesn't take rejection easy, that cat. He doesn't want to help, Riri. He wants to come in here and say, hey, have you taking a look at my butt today? Do you mind if I climb on you and give you some cat hair? Hey, can I eat this? I thought I'd help you out by swatting all these things off your desk, Dad. Just April says, hiding her tattoo. I am a good girl, I am. I better hide my tattoo and claim the same thing, April. Alright, so I'm just gonna... I meant to put that a different color. Well, we'll do it again in a minute. So we've got a pyramid. Paramedic over top of him, and we'll get this together. Poor Corbin. Oh, he's so hard done by. Why am I such a monster? He knows how to open the door. You'll see, he'll be here soon. Paul says, you ever sit down and eat an entire box of Lucky Charms? I haven't, but I think I could. I'm talking giant size too, man. Paul Pates, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend. You're almost through, Corbin. He wants in, but he can't commit to opening the door himself. Well, Paul, in a few days, should you choose to take that assignment, you can see if you're the master on St. Patrick's Day. That's a St. Patrick's Day, the day where you can test everybody out that claims that I'm actually Irish, 1/5 on my father's side. And Paul can say, yeah? Well, I just ate an entire box of Lucky Charms. Which one of us is cooler? And then you punch them, Paul. I don't know if you can see the guy coming through yet in here. That or, Paul, I think you should introduce yourself as, hi, I'm the man, the myth, the magic, Mr. Paul Bade. Can we all use your instant path to success, and can we all use your becoming the most Irish for St. Patrick's Day by eating Lucky Charms? We could start a gang. You know, I've only got 16,000 pencil crayons around here. Not a single one nearby where I am. Well, there are, but not the one I want. All right. What time is it? 2:35. Guys, you're supposed to tell me. Keeping it all a mystery. Color here. Ooh, that's all lead. It's random all lead, fella. All right, get ready. We're going to start doing a draw in a minute. Now, here's how it's going to work, everybody. And to follow up, my latest goes with the C word. Clear. You guys are great. All right, just one more thing. I just want to do one more thing. What are you gonna do? You're not gonna do nothing. Just testing something here. By gum, people are gonna think we know what we're doing here. All right, we gotta start at something. Riri says, what's the substrate? Using a word that I don't entirely know the meaning of. You mean what's underneath the paper? Is that what you're referring to? So this is the jelly plated, when I'm jelly plating pages, if I've got a little bit of detritus that's left on the surface, I'll stamp it off into another piece of paper, and then I decided to just put a bunch of circles on here in graphite, and go around those in yellows, just like the yellow that's here. There's some Indian Banganese grass tissue paper that's embedded into the surface. Just a bunch of modifying of the surface. I'll show you the big open image of it. So just a bunch of modifying on the surface to make it interesting to do a page on. I know that to some people it doesn't make an awful lot of sense to do all of this and then cover it up, but I'm complicated. I'm a complicated man, and that's why my friends call me Whiskers. Okay, so let's see. Let's get crack-a-lackin'. Paul has asked if I can call it a raffle instead of a draw. It's hard to chat and work. I get caught up in watching the magic, says Just April. All right, so here's how we're going to do this, folks. I'm going to put in the random number generator. What's that, Corbin? He's having a hard time out there. What do we got? We got 6 folks. So I'll put 20. How's that sound? Out of 20 is is what we're going to try to do our draw / raffle for Paul. And so I'm going to say go, and as soon as I say go, start picking numbers pick a number between 1 and 20 and stick with it. Isn't that cool, Ghost Print? I think you were a junk journal in previous life. Yeah, I kind of do stuff like this all the time. So everybody that's in the chat, even if you're just lurking, Paul, Jim, that number's too high. Jim, get that number in. The brandy thing doesn't count, Jim. You can't ply me with brandy. Makes 0 sense to me, but it's awesome when you do it. There you go. Paul, pick a number between 1 and 20. I'm going to let Corbin in while you guys are picking numbers. I got to get that cat, because he is just making some noise and causing a fuss. What? What is it? Timmy's in the well. We're going to need a new Timmy. Get up on your chair. Okay, buddy. All right, Buckaroo, you're here. Here. Is there something you want to tell everybody while they're choosing numbers? You got anything you want to tell the people?
Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Corbin, and I like pie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Where we at? Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 out of, I don't know how many number of people could be guessing the thing, but let's say 1 more minute, and then I'm going to say stop. And when I say stop, you must stop. Okay, so all right, here we go. Okay, so I've got the magic device which generates the numbers randomly, and okay, so it's the closest without going over. The number that came up is, oh, you can't see it, I'm sorry, it's 20. So who is the closest to 20? Linda's 3, Riri 7, just April at 18. I think you're the closest to 20. Paul at 11, Jim at 1. Oh, awesome. Okay, so just April, you are the winner for today. And let's just, okay, for those that are watching it in a video, if you want to leave just for this week, because you're all so special to me, if anybody wants to leave a number in the comments for this video, and I'll pick one from those and contact the person and say, pick your subject. So April, if you've got something you want a drawing of for this week, let me know. The previous winner is Marguerite, and she chose mermaid. So there's Marguerite's mermaid picture. And so yeah, so April, you get to choose one, and let me know if you want to send that to me in a direct message or write it in the comments on Instagram or Facebook, or just tell me here. Any of those are viable. Just sit up on your spot and stop smacking me. Corbin's like, hey, did you tell him I'm running for the next political election? Linda says, congrats. My video is about a minute behind. The chat's rather anticlimactic, but woohoo, April. Sorry, Paul. All right. April even has a month named after her. She's so lucky. Yeah, so does my Aunt May, my Aunt June. Steampunk Mouse. All right, I'll write it down right here. Just April. So if you're following me on Facebook or Instagram or here, I just need some way that I can send it to you. So if you want to follow me on and it's Steampunk Mouse, because I scanned it and I sent it to Marguerite through Instagram chats. So if you've got that, let me know. All right, so I've got this image coming together here. So I'm just putting some marks down for this crazy cat. It's lying on the ground, lazy, and he's made some choices. So today's suggestion is the risk benefit ratio. The risk benefit ratio. So I'm trying something different. I'm just throwing marks together, and there's some fun things happening, like there's a resist in the acrylic that peeks through as this light pencil crayon goes over top. So you can see some of the, here we go. You can see how some of the details pop through in the hair and in the outfits. I kind of like that. I like details to run into each other. It just keeps it real. Steampunk Mouse is good. Oh, thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much. Well, I haven't done it yet, Rachel. But thank you so much. And thanks, everybody, for taking part. I don't want anybody to feel left out. So, I'm going to do this each Monday. I draw constantly, so I might well be doing it more often than that. But for sure, I'll be doing this each Monday. And, in that way, do your weekends give you a sense of the blast? You look at Mondays like, no good for me. Well, now you've got something to look forward to. It's glowing. Woo-woo. Okay, so let's put some more characters in here. And I'm just grabbing whatever pencils and things are nearby. And hi, Miriam. Welcome aboard. I've got jars of pencils like this kicking all around me, and so this is the pile of things I have at hand, and so this is what I'm working with. I tend to like the idea of just working with whatever's in front of me, and in that way, it sort of takes you out of a lot of the decision making. Give Christopher the finger? What do you mean, give me the finger? That's not very nice. Just for that, Jim's respelled your name a different way, Miriam. So, rather than being precious and overly concerned about the wherefores and whys and what I'm using and what specific direction I want to take this image, with, like, how do I want to draw this and what do I, I'm eliminating any of those concerns in my decision-making process by just grabbing whatever tools are nearby and sketching it. Similar to the sketchbooks in my process for that. And I'll just show you what I'm referring to again. Where, this isn't a good page. Like this, where I just grab it and making whatever marks that whatever tools I have are making. So, or sketching like so. And so when we liberate ourselves from being overly concerned about, having to have these perfect images or having to have these perfectly finished compositions, it just enables you to just try whatever it is that you want to try and to get it together in whatever finished way that you can and move forward from there. I'm not one to put much stock into everything having to have a certain degree of polish or not. I don't come from that headspace. clearly. I just want to get images down. I just want to tell stories. And the illustration part is really just to facilitate the storytelling. What do we got? Rachel. Rachel's joined us. Hey, Rachel. Fourth. Sorry, comment about losing at the Oscars. Presentation is everything. Oh, Rachel, I hope it goes well. I hope everybody, if you can put Rachel in your thoughts and your prayers about her eye surgery on Thursday, that'd be fantastic. Rachel is some pretty awesome sauce. So, Rachel, if you've got any ideas, suggestions, and stuff you want to throw at me, same as everybody else, of course, but Rachel's hit me with some humdingers in the past. She's given me some pretty great ones. But as always, folks, if you've got one-page story suggestions or ideas that you want to throw at me, let me know. There's all kinds of stuff that's come through in the past that we've tried, like city championship cat curling was one, or Jim, who's in the chat here. No, be good, Rachel. Jim suggested a cat playing guitar riding a bicycle on the edge of a black hole, which we did. Anything goes, folks. But feel free to throw some ideas across if you want to put them in the chat or in the comments, or the comments on any of the social media posts that I put on Facebook or Instagram as well. You're welcome to do so. Okay, so here we got a TV guy now. We'll call him Rodrigo. So I'm just grabbing different pencils. All right, Jim at the Oscars. That's going in the book. There we go. It's in the book. Thank you, Rachel. Okay, what was I doing? I have to go to Toronto on Saturday, and a fellow creator friend of mine and I are going, and we just realized, oh yeah, so we got a plan for this year trip. Yep. Like, that's right, Scoob. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the same little highlighting around the figure here. Just to make some interesting shapes and connections between all right. Marissa's joined us. Hi, Marissa. What have we got? Suggestion. I prefer the term clothing deficient instead of naked. I prefer the term exposed. Moises was a Chinese and was adopted by the daughter of the Sultan. I'll put it in the book, Miriam. Adopted by a daughter of the Sultan. I've never been able to think of sultans and and imagery like that the same ever since I saw the Adventures of Baron Munchausen. Be sure to book your room ahead of time for the TO March break. Yeah, I guess so. Well, we're not staying overnight. Jim says, Chris, I've already called my lawyers. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, but if you haven't, you have not lived. I don't know why I keep doing this today. Since I keep grabbing the wrong color, that's why I'm doing it. So you can see how some of the material that's down here is working as a resist. Some of the existing material on the surface. And I find that interesting. What do you need, Corbin? I think he wants to borrow the car to go to the prom. Alright, so we got a person taking pictures of the fellow on the ground, as well as somebody trying to help them out. And Frankly's joined us. Hiya, Frank. Welcome aboard. So for those that are joining late that missed the original draw, I've said that if you put a number in the comments, then I will do a second draw from people for the comments. Frankly says, you're all dressed up, Chris. Is it my birthday? No, this is how I dress. If you haven't noticed, I'm usually wearing a dress shirt and suit jacket and cardigan, and I dress like a 95-year-old man. It's just how I roll, folks. That's why they call me Whiskers. So I'm just going to put, let's just make the scene a little more complex. I'm just going to put some more characters in here and populate. It's called populating the scene. If when you're doing a story and you're putting together some imagery for a panel, one of the things that you can do is to give it just a little bit of interest and complexity by having some stuff, some folks in the backyard, or the background, I'm sorry, and just give it a little something to make it more interesting. Rachel says, oops, what number range are we working from? Jim says, Chris, the number I pick is 20. It's too late. So we've already pulled the number for today. I pulled it 15 minutes ago. And what we'll do is if people want to put... oh, yes, I'm sorry. Thank you, Rachel. What is the number range? Let's say between 1 and 50. Yeah? Let's do between 1 and 50. Rachel says mine was 1949. You're slightly outside of the area there, Rachel. Alright, so let's do another guy who's supervising. Supervising means not doing anything and standing around. What? What? No. Did you hear that? What's the key to the man? These kids today. Does he clean his room? No. Does he do any dishes? No. Does he want the van? Yeah. Yeah, he's looking cute. Frankly, Roller is here. So, I'm just trying to keep up, folks. Everybody saying hi to Frank. Roll for draws. There we go. So yeah, so if you put your number in the comments after the video, and then I'll draw again, and we'll have couple pages to do this week. Now what are you complaining about? This is what I forgot to put in here. Is that I kind of like throwing this yellow through the different figures because it sort of unifies it with the bit of the background, right? So if I come through now and I'm doing a little bit of what? So hopefully that's starting to tie things together. Maritza says PAUSA. Yes. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. But it sounds to me like pizza. And to that I say, yes. Oh, you know what? When you put your comment in, well, no, if I have people put their comments in, or their suggestion for what they would like as an image with their guess, doesn't it seem like I'm trying to pick the one I want to draw the most? I don't want it to be that. So, okay, so here is, it's starting to come together a little bit more now. Corbin, just open the door. '23 was a good year. 1923. There you go. 23 may or may not be my favorite number. May or may not. And why is that? Well, I'll tell you why that is. You with the questions. Because I have the same birthday as Winston Churchill. We fought together in a Boer War. Even Corbin doesn't believe that. No. So I'm just, like I said before, I'm just populating the image with some more characters and some more information and adding a little bit of story to it this way. He's pushed the door closed on himself. Yes, you did it yourself. And now he's like, stop everything you're doing. For goodness sakes, Frank. Well, did you look for it? Yeah, he's very vocal. It does sound like sometimes he's saying things. It's funny, the cats have different meows for us. And Lori's sounds like mom, baby saying mom. It's really clear. And then for me, it's just like wow wow. And I don't know why I'm wow wow, but I'm wow wow. And I'm just wow to Corbin. Well, Rachel, I hope everything is going to go well with the surgery. Give you my thoughts and prayers there. So this is just some of the yellow, moving the yellow through the image. It just sort of roots everything in together because the existing yellows that are already on the page. That's my theory. How much of that's true? I don't entirely know right now, but I'm trying. Let's give this guy's, an official looking fella, so let's give him a white shirt. The reason I'm not getting out for him is that he knows how to open that door. There's nothing blocking it. He's just being silly. Main floor 24 in an elevator? This conversation's getting too grown up for me. My 12-year-old granddaughter watches this stream, folks. Oh, yes. Does that look like place lights to you? That's what I'm going for there. What are you doing? He's not even near the door. He's just rolling around the floor meowing. Back when I was a young cat, we used to deal with things ourselves. Alright, so let's put a piece of yellow tape right here. Hi. You coming to say hi? Can you see him? He just wants to hang out. He wants to be in with the in crowd. He wants to be all you hip cats and homies. So the suggestion for steam punk mouse. You gotta make sure that that's an M and don't do a house. You're falling all over the place, guy. All right. My guy. Where are we at? 424 of the elevator. I want to make sure I'm not missing stuff, folks. You gotta make sure you got it on live chat on this sucker. But there we go. Okay. So yeah, so for anybody that might have joined late, if you've got, if you want to take part in a draw today, then because we've already done today's Monday draw, you can put your guess a number between 1 and 50 and put it in the comments for the video, and I'll do a second draw, and that way everybody gets a chance and nobody's like, this doesn't even like me because it didn't draw before I even got there and he doesn't even care. idea too. Miriam just said 12. In the comments, not the chat, in the comments of the video. I have a very random question of the day. Okay to go for it? As long as it's nice, Jim. If it's a, hey, you know who I'm voting for? Then I say to you, sir, no. Because nobody wants to hear who I'm going to vote for in the American election. Be careful on the second draw, because Corbyn is contributing. Don't bite that. I say to the cat as he's gnawing at things on me, carrying on. I'll change that up a little bit. Hey, you're not helping. All right, Jim, what do you got? Shook it at Corbyn just in case it came spilling out and got all over his fur. He loves that. No, why, you goofball? What's the matter with you? Huh? Okay, question of the day. What are your feelings about indoor string Christmas lights year-round as decor? Depends on what the extremity of the Christmas lights are. Right? Like, are they like hardcore Christmas lights that, you know, play Christmas music and ho 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 every time you walk by them? Or are they are we talking about like they're just cool lights? It's like Halloween lights, right? I got a set of Halloween lights that were all skeletons, and I'd left those up for a while. I'll get to them later, you know? So I'm looking for the yeller. I'm looking for the yeller, Corbyn. Let's put this guy, let's put Mr. Busybody here. What do you think, Corbyn?
I like it.
This is a detective. You know how I can tell? Because he's got his cotton denim or his cotton polyester blend t-shirt tucked into his pants. Business casual, folks. Business casual. That's what that's called. No tree, just around the room for ambiance. Do you live in a desert? If you live in a really warm climate where you don't have trees, I would say that's fine. We understand. But if you're up north, like here in Canada, where we have an abundance of of trees. Put your tree down. Take your Christmas tree down. There's enough trees out there. Look at the difference of where there's some medium down on the paper and where there isn't. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? Jim, you need to work on the ambiance thing. You know, you could also just have a pine-scented Christmas evergreen shape in your car, you know. That might give you that sense of, you know, Christmassy year-round vibe. Police line. Don't cross it. Let's get that orange and start cutting out some more of these figures here. It's just sort of a design language we're implementing. So it helps to separate these orange lines. Ideally, help to separate the different figures from each other. Just to change up the shape language a little bit. Since there's a sort of a uniform value system that's coming together, let's try to shake it up. Am I missing stuff? Those dollar stores have those mini battery-powered lights. There you go. I'm thinking of making a fairy garden for decor in my apartment. I keep seeing little fairy decorations at the Dollar Tree. There you are. For your pine-scented can air freshener. So let's, oopsie daisy. I gotta, we'll say it starts there. All right. Christopher, I did not realize he had branched off into decor. Oh, yeah, not this guy. Boy, you don't want me decorating your place. When I was younger, and of ill repute, I designed a funerary facility for a friend of mine who's a funeral director. Well, he does the funerary services for a bunch of funeral homes, and it's you know. So, anyways, I had curtain rods that were made out of coffin handles. So, they weren't used. They were out of box, but it's still nice and weird. You couldn't tell, but it's because I had these heavy red velvet curtains like Twin Peaks, and that way I could get down on my knees and come out from under and go, yes, what? Anyways. Old lady eyes kicking in. Great to see all of you. Hey, good luck. Good luck with the surgery, Rachel. You're in all of our thoughts. So now I'm coming in and just throwing. See, the trick is to see what I can get. Like, clearly the blue and the green were not working and getting the... For whatever reason, I couldn't get those to make enough impact as marks. So switching to this brown tends to be a little more aggressive, it works a little bit better. So, yay, brown. Corbin is completely fine now that he's sitting beside me. So I've got Corbin, where's the black? Corbin, where'd you put the black? Give me that. It's hiding it. Literally had it under his paw. Alright, so let's put one more vehicle back here. Hey? What do you think, buddy? Good idea?
Corbin says, that sounds to me like a great idea, man.
Put the trunk open. So I'm getting out some police stuff. It's the official turn. Soon, this paint marker will be going the way of the dodo. Not a lot of thinking when you have all the colors in your hand or all the tools that you're using in your hand. It's just sort of whichever one you're grabbing. Figure out where that's going to go. It's coming together fairly quick. Let's get this first panel all together. So the suggestion for today was the risk-benefit ratio, and that's from David A. Or if you're complicated, you can pronounce it David but you know, I don't think that's how he says it. For all we know, he could say it like the fonts. David A. How you doing? It's my suggestion. All right, so that's coming together. He's a good-looking feller there, huh? Okay, so we've got our suggestion today is the risk-benefit ratio, and the first panel I've been throwing together is, well, it's risk-benefit ratio that it was calculated did not go well. So you know what this artwork could use? Some cowbell. Yeah. Christmas lights, Jim says. And Jim would know. You know, he's the kind of guy that decorates his house year round. Yeah, year round. So just, you know, a couple more little bits of information to go together. You know, little enhancements, little hits can go off in that. Hanging off the police tape. Now we know where April would be. Causing a nuisance. Thinking here. Ow! Oh, I'm not using that color anymore. If I missed stuff in the chat, I apologize. Try to catch what everybody's saying, but I'm not always successful. Okay. Where did I drop? No, not the black pencil. Alright. Okay, so we got our start of our first panel together. I just don't want to set up my Zoom here. So you can see how the background information is still coming through. And even though I'm gonna pop in here and hit some highlights all over the place, it's ideally, I don't want to lose that, you know, like I want to keep all of this green coming through. And so even though as I'm going to add a little more opaque information throughout, I still want that. I still want that green. Well, that's a fine how do you do. Marguerite says, hello, had to eat lunch. Welcome aboard, Marguerite. I was just telling people about your mermaid. And Jim said, you mean like Daryl Hannah? And that went over with a big splash. Oh man. Just making sure I've got this crazy kid in the frame. Oh, hi Corbin. Maybe we'll give this guy a hockey shirt. A tucked in hockey shirt. What a weirdo. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a sign up here in London where a lady says, it's a realtor sign, and it says this property is a perfect house, the perfect starter home for you to sit inside and eat tacos. And And then it says, contact me. I can even help you find the tacos. And as interesting a sign as that is, I don't know that I want to buy a house from that person. There you go. You're not even setting off Miriam's dogs anymore. Even they don't even listen to your plaintive cries, Corbin. Didn't sleep much last night. The time change, I got to bed about 1. I got up about 4:30. Man, did I overset my clock. Could you imagine? That'd be great. So even if you look at a picture of a police car, something like that, for your source information, at a certain point, just throw it away and chase after the colors and things like that. Yourself, you know. As I'm drawing and I'm doing some of the blending with the end of my fingers, I do like to wash my hands 26 times a day. He's singing a piece from Fiddler on the Roof. So, we got things coming together now, folks. All right. So, let me just roll over this one more time. I'm going to suggest that for the people that came in late and didn't get a chance to take part in today's draw, please pick a number between 1 and 50 and put it in the comments for this video, and we'll get a hold of everybody. And if you want to also include what what your subject is for a drawing, you can do so, but I'm going to be just drawing a number and not basing it on subject, but I'll still do your subject. Because that's how cool we are, right, Corbin? Yeah. Man, those are bright little green mittens. Okay, so here's the start of today's page. I'll pull out so you can see the overall. Now, the suggestion is the risk-benefit ratio from David A. There is this sort of fun little bit of business that I did on the page before getting going on it. Well, we're incorporating those elements, like you can see these circles peeking through, and some of those shapes, and I love it. It makes people wonder, what? Why? So, okay. So with that in mind, okay. So if you want to put your name, or I'm sorry, your number between 1 and 50 in the comments. If somebody else has already guessed that number, guess a different one. And if you want to put the subject matter that you want the drawing to be of, please, feel free to do so there. Otherwise, I'll just ask you once the draw has been made. I'm not choosing based on the subjects. I'm just doing the random number generator. So, I appreciate everybody coming out today. Super fun day. I'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. EST. But the draw went really fun earlier today. I'll show you. This is the drawing that that Marguerite won, and we also posted this page from Saturday of the Bird of Death, and we also posted today's page, which is the race is on, and that's on a jelly plated surface. So, and tonight is the Comic Jam, and if you can get involved in the Comic Jam, you're not going to regret it. And if you're in the London area, come on down, all the cool kids will be there. And me. So, yeah, lots of fun in the sun today, folks. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. I really appreciate it. And I'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. If you have a one-page suggestion, an idea, if you have 3 word prompts, whatever it is, challenge me. I'm not illustrating people's scripts right now. But if you've got just random ideas you think might be a fun page to work from, please feel free to suggest them to me. Hit me, and we'll do our best. But otherwise, leave your number in the comments between 1 and 50. I'll be drawing later on tonight. You know what? Tell you what. Just to be fair, I'll draw first thing in the morning, and so by the end of the week, we'll be presenting the person who won today. It was just April, won during the chat, and whoever wins off of the comments, and then we'll get those put up and show everybody just like the Marguerite draw. Okay, thanks very much, everybody. Appreciate you all coming out. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. What?